Shalom my friends, and welcome back to Hardcore TIIPTH, where I'll be continuing on with my gameplay of Hardcore Torchlight 2 as my two-handed engineer. Now, I know in the last one I started outside the town, when I decided that since the overworld is actually kind of boring, I figured, you know what, I'm just going to show you the more interesting dungeon areas instead of watching me traipse around the overworld trying to get from point A to point B. If I encounter something interesting, then, then I'll record that and show you exactly what's going on. But other than that, I'm just going to jump from dungeon to dungeon. As you can see right here, I'm in the Corrupted Crypt? Keep. No, I don't know where that came from, but the Corrupted Crypt. And we're just going to continue on, so let's get started, shall we? Now, I know what you're probably thinking, just looking at me right now. Why on earth am I running through, not only on Veteran, but as a two-handed engineer? Well, that's because everyone and their mother, from what I've seen, pretty much has used the cannon engineer. I'm not a huge fan of the ranged weapons. They make things a bit too easy from what I've noticed. I have an Outlander who is having no trouble whatsoever. And I'd much rather, give myself somewhat of a challenge by choosing a less than optimal character as I encounter a renamed guy with lots of support. Okay, so as this is hardcore mode, I do not want to get stuck in a situation where I will be unable to actually win, because once I'm dead, that's gonna be it. My dog got the kill there, so definitely like the little support I'm getting from him. And I really can't wait till I get some of the better skills though. Speaking of that, I did level. Let me get my points in here. I can't get Force Field yet. That is a skill that you always want to invest in, I've found as an engineer, as it does end up helping you quite a lot. And that's also why I decided to put points into Focus, is that was a really good piece of armor that I found. Just get rid of all this junk that I don't need. And I also found this while I was out there. I'm going to start seriously putting points into strength so I can use it, because that is a really, really good axe. I'm actually kind of surprised I found such a weapon so quickly. Normally it takes me a long time, but this I found on my way to this area. Well, actually I found that axe and my armor that I'm now currently using from a chest that I discovered. As you saw right there, these green quests are actually fairly decent, but they are unfortunately protected by these spirits that I just kicked the crap out of. And it doesn't look like they dropped anything worthy. Well, that's not true. Potions are always welcome, in my opinion. At least up until I have over 100 of them, like I do on most of my other characters. Though, none of my other characters are hardcore though, so even then, doesn't matter whether they hoard potions or not, I can always jump right back into the action. Meanwhile, this person, I'm going to have to be a bit more, conservative with everything. I don't want to run out of anything. Otherwise, I'll be SOL, and I don't want to have that happen. I will say, I love the two-handed nature, just because killing everything in one swing makes me feel kind of awesome. What isn't awesome though is not encountering loot in those little areas. See, I really don't understand why no one really likes this two-handed method. I mean, it seems to be fairly straightforward. I run up to things, I hit them in the face, and I pick up items I don't know what they are. Is that even a real weapon? A spontoon. I've never heard of one of those before. Guess I'll have to do some research after this place is finished to see if that is an actual weapon or not. Just for the sake of knowledge. Well, this dungeon's actually rather easy on the loot, if I do say so myself. But it's the first dungeon, what can you expect, right? Now, with all these undead, you think there'd be a bit more of them around. Or at least they take a little bit more damage from this trap. Nice of it to break these urns for me. Meant I didn't have to do it. See, one thing I will say that I really liked that they changed from the old Torchlight to this one is I like the fact that these skills, not only do they, you know, look great right from the get-go, but as you put points into them, they gain additional effects rather than just marked improvements. For example, this flame hammer, as I get away from that trap so it doesn't hurt me, and open a sarcophagus and find nothing. After I get 5 points into here, these little splinters that you see, rather than just 3, it's going to actually bring it up to 5, which would be a nice little improvement, as well as this little bot here, the healing bot, that is a quite necessary skill to have, as it gives you an incredible amount of longevity. I really only take this up to 5 because regenerated mana is actually more important in my opinion than just getting the armor buff that goes with it. Some people might argue with me on that point, and I say let them, this is my personal feelings. And I now have to wait for an arena fight. Yay! Well, that was kind of easy. And then I get swarmed, of course, because that's the nature of this game. And, oh, ow, ow. Wasn't paying any attention to that trap. That definitely left a mark. Not enough of one to make me worry about it, though. And it seems my pet's taking the brunt of the blows, so I gotta thank him for being my meat shield. My puppy meat shield. I mean, what else is he gonna be used for? Now, let's see, has anything... Actually, before I look at what I can equip... That looks good. More points into that. Oh, and I finally found a ranged weapon that I can use as well. One thing that I like about this game, along with many other things, such as the loot whore aspect, is you can actually equip 2 weapon sets. As you can see by here, 1 and 2. And you just switch them by pressing the W key. I find it's always helpful to, if nothing else, keep a ranged weapon at all times, just in case you encounter those enemies who like to be complete and utter jerks and stay out of your giant swinging hammer. One of the easiest ways to take care of them is just to switch to a nice big old cannon and shoot them with it. But luckily these guys are being so nice and not running away from me. Though I will say, fighting this boss, the first major boss, from a... Oh, it's just a general, never mind. I thought I was going to have to worry. Though he did hit like a truck, so that wasn't very pleasant. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to make you guys sit through watching me shit... Oh, goodness, another boss. Or a champion creature, not a boss, technically. Ow! Ow. Well, nice to hear that warning sign, and I was wondering why I wasn't healing any health. I completely forgot. I kind of need my heal bot out at all times. I gotta keep in mind, this is a hardcore run. I have to not be so negligent. I did recently beat this on my Berserker, where, let's just say, as a Berserker, your entire game is spent holding down one button especially once you enter Berserk stage. Or is it called Fury? I believe it's Fury. I'm going to start putting stuff to my pet, too. But I don't have that luxury now, because I have to be exceptionally careful. Smashy, smashy. All that for a couple of gold coins. Completely worth it. Don't need that. That's actually better than what I have. I like the look of that hoodie better. Not as good, not as good. I know I told you I wasn't gonna make you sit through this. Obviously, I lied. Alright, what is that? Shoulder armor. I'm not really gonna need that. I'll give it to my pet after I sell the junk. You know, you have to... Oh, goodness. Dividing enemies. I really hate these guys. Luckily, they weren't too difficult to deal with. But where's the buddy who gave him that power? Or... did I kill him in that mist? I have no idea. Huh. Okay, well, that's kind of disappointing. Alright, and now... found the Fallen Guardian. Alright, Fluffy. Let's see what you can do. Stick and move. Stick and move. That's the name of this little guy. Ah! What the f... oh. A sword. That was a nasty surprise. But, oh well. Easy enough to take care of.
You have completed a quest.
Quest completed. Well, that went about as well as to be expected. I was a level over this when I started anyway.
My thanks.
No problem. Let's see. Looks like it offers a good two-handed weapon. Some boots I could use. My pet doesn't have a collar, though, so I'm actually going to give it to my pet because I have an axe waiting for me.
You have become more skillful.
Yay, I'm being more skillful.
Your pet has departed.
Good for him. Let's see. Now, what options do we have aside from that? Oh, right. Force field. The ultimate survivability skill for an engineer. There we go. But actually, that's where I'm going to cut it right here. I will meet you at the next dungeon. So thank you guys very much for watching. Shalom, and until next time.